The film opens within the deceptive opulence of a luxury hotel, where a group of children plays amidst the grandeur. They push open a massive door to find a vast, seemingly endless collection of clothing. As they playfully pick out outfits, one young girl reaches for a pristine white dress, only to recoil in absolute horror upon discovering it is drenched in fresh blood. She flings the garment away as the scene shifts to the grim reality outside, a desolate, post-apocalyptic wasteland. Following a catastrophic nuclear disaster, the city is a skeleton of its former self, where survivors wither away under the crushing weight of famine and poverty. Homes and offices lie in ruins, and in this nightmare landscape, we find Thomas, his wife Leonora, and their young daughter Alice, returning to the remains of their shattered home. Their grim silence is broken by strange sounds emanating from a neighbor's house. Investigating, they push open the door to a sight that freezes the blood in their veins. A couple has ended their lives by hanging. Alice is traumatized, and Thomas and Leo are left suffocating in despair, realizing that any hope for a better future is rapidly evaporating. Leo, a former theater artist, faces a bleak morning as their food supplies finally run dry. It is at this breaking point that an announcement echoes through the ruins. Matthias, a mysterious director, is hosting a theater show at the city's grandest hotel. The promise is irresistible: 2 shows in one night, and most importantly, free food for every attendee. Leo wonders aloud how such a feast is possible in a world of starvation, but the announcer dismisses her fears, claiming it is a gesture of charity from the benevolent Matthias. Though Thomas senses a lingering darkness behind the invitation, Leo's desperation for their survival wins out, and they decide to attend. At the hotel gates, the guards initially block the family, stating children are not permitted. However, Matthias himself appears, casting a chilling, peculiar gaze upon Alice before granting the family entry. They step inside, finding themselves back in the very same luxury hotel from the opening scene. Once inside, Thomas and Leo are seated with another family, Lars, his wife Catherine, and their daughter Suzanne. They are served lavish plates of meat, and for a fleeting moment, the joy of a real meal masks their underlying dread. Before the performance begins, Matthias takes the stage to explain the rules. He declares that this is no ordinary play, the entire hotel is the stage, and the lines between fiction and reality are blurred. To distinguish the audience from the performers, the guests must wear heavy masks. Those without masks are the actors, and the audience is encouraged to follow whichever story captures their interest. The show begins as an actress named Raquel enters a heated, violent argument with her husband. The masked crowd splits into groups to follow the drama. As Leo and her family trail Raquel, Alice wanders ahead. Thomas tries to pull her back, but Leo, wanting her daughter to experience a moment of wonder, tells him to let her enjoy it. In the blink of an eye, Alice vanishes. Panic strikes as they hear her muffled screams coming from a nearby room, but when they burst in, the room is empty. Instead, they find a frantic Catherine, who cries out that her own husband and daughter have also disappeared. As the search intensifies, Catherine suddenly vanishes into the shadows as well. While Leonora investigates the area, she finds a bizarre painting depicting a severed goat's head on a plate. As she stares at it, her heart stops, the eye of the goat in the painting blinks. Terrified, she falls back, discovering Catherine's earring on the floor. Desperate, she enters another room only to witness a man seemingly slitting his own throat in front of a mirror. Before she can react, Raquel appears, nonchalantly praising the performance before walking away. The nightmare deepens when Leo finds Alice's doll, now stained with blood. However, Lars appears and shows them a packet of stage blood hidden among some clothes, trying to convince them that everything they are seeing is merely part of the elaborate play. They almost believe him until they spot Matthias whispering to a group of men dressed in black. They watch as people are wheeled away on trolleys piled high with clothing, and one man seemingly vanishes through a solid wall where a painting hangs. Leo checks the wall, but there is no door to be found. The veil of the performance begins to tear away completely. They witness hotel staff gathering the clothes of the disappeared guests and burning them in a massive furnace. Suddenly, a staff member lunges at Thomas. Witnessing the violence, a terrified Lars flees into the dark corridors. Thomas screams for Leo to run, and she disappears into the labyrinthine depths of the hotel to save herself. Leo eventually finds herself in the kitchens, where the horrifying truth begins to unravel. She realizes that the vegetables and garnishes are all fake, made of plastic. Hiding in a cupboard, she finds an old newspaper clipping revealing that the hotel director's daughter had died in a tragic fire, after which Matthias had purchased the building. From her hiding spot, she hears Matthias addressing a new group of guests. The truth is sickening, the previous audience members are being recycled into the actors of the next show. Leo discovers a secret button beneath the goat painting, which drops her into a hidden tunnel system. Peering through peepholes, she realizes that every room is being watched from behind the paintings. But the most grotesque revelation is yet to come. The meat served to the guests is actually the flesh of the audience members who were kidnapped earlier. In the tunnels, a deranged Lars captures Leo and binds her. Matthias arrives and, impressed by her resilience, offers her a chance to join his macabre inner circle. Leo refuses with pure disgust. Just then, Thomas, who has survived his earlier encounter, rushes in and attacks Lars, freeing Leo. However, in the brutal struggle that follows, Thomas is fatally wounded and dies in Leo's arms. Driven by grief and rage, Leo manages to overpower and kill Lars. Leo sprints back into the main hall, her voice echoing as she screams the truth of Matthias's atrocities to the remaining guests. When they hesitate to believe her, she plays into the performance, leading them into the hidden tunnels as if it were part of the show. When the audience sees the butchery and the human remains for themselves, the theater turns into a riot. The enraged crowd turns on Matthias's men. In the chaos, Raquel, realizing the depth of the horror she was a part of, stabs Matthias to death. Amidst the carnage, Leo finally finds Alice. Matthias had been keeping her hidden as a replacement for his deceased daughter. Leo grabs Alice and flees the burning hellscape of the hotel. They emerge back into the cold, gray morning of the apocalypse. The world outside remains as empty and terrifying as they left it. The film ends on a haunting note, as a broken Leo and a silent Alice walk through the ruins toward their shattered home, two ghosts in a dying world. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.